Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Full Stack Dart. And in this episode, I want to complete my backend side. And in episode 3, we will create our Flutter section, our front end section. And we will use a specific code as a share code. And Flutter and backend can use both of them. I decide to create another channel for Android and iOS development and add content to that. I don't know you like it or not, because I ask you and all of you, most of you say that you like Flutter only content, not Android or iOS. Alright, it doesn't matter for now. And one more thing, if you like, you can join to my membership, in my channel. I have two options. One of them is actually it's nothing, and when you join to level 1, actually you are supporting me and you make me so happy to create more content, and it's very motivate me. And I decided to actually go live and create some live, and actually I can create some solo live, but I decide in my level 2 membership they can join me, and together we learn each other, and it's very good meeting. And I think it's very good to record that and show others to see what we are doing. Alright, doesn't matter if you like, you can see my little video about it. And let's go and fix our server. Alright, first of all, we need to change our schema. And in here, if you see, we have a name, last name, and ID, but each user for authentications, for example, need username and password, and we don't have any username or password in here. Okay, let's add in our database. We know that we have username string, and each username is a unique value. And we can add hashtag unit, or add sign unit. And when you add this, Prisma consider that this field need to be unique. And if user add, for example, if we have a username like Mahdi, and another Mahdi choose Mahdi, we get error for that, because Mahdi is unique for username. And we need password, and this is a string. Yeah, we have our schema ready, and let's use npx prisma generate, and after that db push. Yeah, and everything is fine, but actually we get error, and it's very obvious because we have two parameters. And for example, in user repository, when we want to create a user, we have to add this field either. Okay, let's add it. But we have some little problem in here. We didn't like to pass a real password in our database. And why? Because when you are passing a plain password, for example, user password is 123456, and you are passing 123456 in database, it has a very problem for security reasons. And why? Because you can consider if our database is hacked or somebody can access to this database it's actually access to all of our users' username and password. But we can hash the password and save hash value of password. And for example, if user wants to log in, user knows the password, okay, pass the password, and we know that when we get a hash, we can't revert this hash to get plain text. That means we only need to check. Okay, username is Mahdi and password is 123456. If user pass this username and password, we only check if hash code of 123456 is equals to hash code that we saved on our database. That means user insert the true passwords. And we know that if we change one character of the plain text, the whole of hash code is changed. I don't want to talk about more about hash, but you can search about it. It's very easy concept and it's one-way conversion. Okay, all right. And to solve this problem, I want to use crypto package, and let's check if I want to use, yeah, this is my package, and we can implement, these are algorithms that we can use with this package, and with this package we can encode and decode text. Let's check, copy, and in my pub spec YAML, yeah, I already added, very nice. And let's check something. I want to add test for that and show you what happened when we use crypto and what happened when we use hash in our project. I decided to create a full course about test-driven development and actually test in Flutter, how we can create tests, how we can improve our code. I wanna create all of these. If you see my course in Dart and Flutter, you will see actually we are very beginner create our page and code, but I will create a full course about how we can create clean code, how we can create very testable, very scalable, and very nice code. I will show you in another course, but for now we can create a test folder beside our lib folder, and in here if I want to add a test, I can call it everything I want. For example, this is very simple class crypto test.dart. Alright, and in here I want to create a unit test. It's not very complicated things. I want to show you what happened when we hash a string. In here I need to call a main because we need to run a simple application, a Dart application, and we have a test in here. I think this is a f-test because we don't want to test the widget. We want to only test logic section. Test crypto hash. It's not good, but it's okay. I think I need import something. Yeah. I'm sorry, import test. Yeah. And wrap it with single code. Very nice. And in here, I wanna write my test. For example, consider we have a final password and user input is 123456. Very good. First of all, I use UTF-8.encode. This isn't a crypto package, it's about Dart convert, and I want to convert this password. You can see the response. This method returns us a list of integer. Final encoded password, After that, okay, let's consider this is const variable. And after that, I wanna get hash. How I can get a hash? For example, I wanna use SHA-256 dot convert, and the input is a list of integer, and we know that we have an encoded password, and let's final hash, and in here let's print hash and see what happened. Very nice. I want to run this test only, debug anyway, and you can see I got this string. This SHA-256 is algorithm that's convert and return. This is the name of algorithm, and you can see lots of algorithm in crypto package. I don't want to mention about features about these algorithms, but you know that I got this as text. Let's check. I save this in here, but if I change 6 to 7 and run it again, you can see I get totally different results, because when we change a little things of plain text, whole of hash will be changed, and we need to save this, not the actually a plain password. And if I change it to 6 again and run it again, you can see you get exactly the same. We need only save this value to our database, and when user enter the password, we only get hash of this text and change if the hash of this, the user input, is equals to saved hash in our database. That means user insert the correct password. Very nice, and it's okay for now. Let's keep it away, and in here you know that I can use password hash password, and I want to create a function I called hash password of password, and let's create this function in here. I want to create this hash password private, and let's create this method in here. Very nice, and it's need to return a string, and let's add our test. If I want to show you in my test, okay, let's copy this two line, paste it here, and UTF-8, and actually I think I need only return this. Why? What's okay? And this is digest. We need to add that to a string to get a string of that. Okay, and yeah, I think everything is correct. Okay, let's see what is gonna problem in here. Okay, if we want to create a user, we know that we need final. Okay, I think this is password. I'm sorry, username first. JSON username as a string, and final password equals JSON password as a string. And let's add some check in here. It's not a very good code. It's better to separate this section, but it's okay for now. Let's check username equals null or password equals null. Okay. Okay, add name, last name. This is a very bad code. I don't like this structure of code, but it doesn't matter for now. I want to show you the authentication. Name, last name, password, username, and password. And the create user need username, password. Very nice. Okay, dart run, build runner, build. Alright, let's test our code. I wanna create a user, and we know that we need a post. Let's check again. I wanna make sure about the functionality in here. We have a create user, yeah, for post. And this is my user. I have JSON, name, last name, username, Mahdi1, and password 1 2 3 4 5 6. Alright, so we get some error because we need to create our project, but we have some problem. Not problem actually. Okay, because we need database environment, I need to add my terminal database URL equals, I need to go to this section, I'm sorry, .env, and copy this. I'm sorry, database URL equals, I think we need a string. Okay, and dart frog div. Nice. Okay, let's test. Very nice. We create a user name and password, but I didn't like this. When we are requesting to log in or create a user, it's not good. I think my opinion is it's not good to return the hash password, and I don't like this. But I don't want to change it now, because in chapter 3 I will tell you actually we don't want to use this user model, because this user model is for database. This is not for flutter or for example output JSON. We need to create another user, another beautiful user to handle these items. Okay, it doesn't matter for now. Let's keep it simple, but let's add a functionality to log in a user. All right, we know that it's very simple for us. If I go to the user repository and create another feature, we know that it's a user, it's nullable auth user, and we know that for login and authorization we only need username, password, and it's enough. It's very good. And we need to search to our database user. But how we can search for our user? We want to find one specific user. It's very simple. We have a function called find first, and we need to pass user. This is a where function. User where input. This is a class, and in here we need pass something, and we know that username is unique, and we can search with username. Let's pass username and let's add a password for that. But how we can we get error because username is a string filter. A string filter. And in here we need pass our string. We need have equals and equals username, and we need a string filter equals password, but not password, the hash of password, okay? Because we don't save this password is a user input password and it is a plain text. And for that we need to get hash password of this password, and we check if hash password of this password is equal to exact password that we have in our database. That means we actually get a user, final user. This is a user, but we need a await and async, and I think, yeah, this is a user. Let's return this user. Very good. And in my user, I want to create another package, another folder, another row. I called Auth, and in the index, I want to create index dot start. But it's better to create our rows. Very beautiful to create it in this way. Let's bring our terminal, add another terminal, and in here I want to use dart frag new route. I called this route is in I think it's Auth index. Okay, yeah, very nice. And in here I have my routes, and let's add exactly the same thing that we see in here, but we have some little difference. We don't have any get, yeah, because we need a check something in post method. And after that, if I go to the, let's call it create user, and I want to change something in that. It's not good to copy and paste, but I want to move fast. In here we get username and password. We only check username and password. These are very bad code. I will show you the killing code, but not now. Okay, Dart.io, I think, yeah. And in here we need user repository, and we need auth user without name and last name. And actually, okay, we don't need any user. Let's pass our user and check what happened in here. Very nice. We don't have any create user. Auth user, but why I get an error? Because I think it's need to be async, yeah. And okay, I think with the future, yeah, future of response. All right, very nice. Let's check what happened. We know that we have Mahdi 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's copy paste this, change it to post. In body I have raw JSON, and in here I have a username Mahdi 1, password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's check. Oh, I'm sorry, it's need to be Auth. Yeah, it's very nice, but let's change to wrong username. For example, 10. We get user null, but it's not good to get user null. How we can fix that? Because I need to add some check in here. For example, if my user is null, that means user not found. Alright, and in here I can simply return some error. For example, this is not found 404. Okay, I can send this user not found. Let's test again. User not found. But if I pass username and password, all right. If I pass a wrong password, it says user not found. But yeah, it's good for now. Let's simply says this message. Okay, but if I have a user, I want to create, and we will remove this password. I know that it's not good, but I want to send and pass some string in here for token, for barrier token, to authentication. For example, we will save the token. We don't have it yet, but we will save this token in our application, and with that token, another request, for example, when we want to create post, when we want to create or edit user, everything that needs authorization, we need to pass the token. And user in frontend, in Flutter, for example, need to save this token, but we don't have it yet. We need pass a token to user, and user in frontend save this token, and this user is authorized and can log in and can save user, update user, or create posts or another routes that needs authorization. All right, how we can create JWT token? All right. In here, if I show you the Dart Frog documentation, you will see something in here. In advanced, we have authentication. And in here, we have Dart Frog Auth. And when you want to use these, you have some feature. For example, you have a barrier authentication, and you can add some middleware. For example, in here, if I show you barrier method in here, it has some basic, but I want to use barrier method. In here, Dart Frog check and add for us an authenticator, and it's easy handler for us. For example, we add this middleware in create post or update user route, and it's check for us that user actually has token and this user is authorized or not. If isn't authorized, this middleware handler for us, and for example say to user, you are not authorized and you can't update user or add another post or everything. But if is authorized, it's return, for example, it's not get error and it's work. All right, let's use it and see what happened. I want to use it. All right, in my pubspec YAML, if I add Dart Frog Auth, okay, I can add this in my middleware, but not all of my middlewares. Only I want to filter my routes because I need this author authentication, these authorized things in some of my routes. For example, if user, I don't have it really for now, but let's create. Okay, let's create in all of our middleware, and I will show you. In here, you can see I have request logger and provide user repo, but let's add a middleware, provide authorize cation, and it's need to return a provider, but actually not provider, barrier authentication. Okay, but it has some authenticator. All right, and for returning type, you will see we can send null object, but I want to return a user. How we can solve this? For example, in here, I want to say if user authorized, we will have a user. But if user unauthorized, we get a null user. That means I add my user in here and you can see. In here, maybe I get user, but maybe I get null. If I get null, that means user is unauthorized and user can't do process. Let's see what's happened. Return null. Oh my god, async. Okay, and I want to add it in here. Use provide authentication. Oh my god. Okay, I have this, and if I run my code, you will see what's happened. I don't like it, but it's good. Okay. Okay, let's check. Let's run this, for example. You can see I get 401 unauthorized. This message and this return error is handled by Dart-Frog Auth. But if we have a user, and why all of my requests will be broken? Because this middleware is for all of our routes, but we don't like it. And actually, it's not good to add this authentication in this middleware because we don't like to add this limit to all of our routes. Only some of our routes has authentication needed. For example, I want to add another folder. I call this, I don't know, let's add post. It's for future. I want to create. Let's remove it and create with routes. Okay, in my terminal, I want to create another route I called post. And we will, and I want to consider for creating posts, we need some authorization. Okay, let's say this response will be seen. I don't know, I think my grammar is wrong, but if we can't see, I want to make a middleware in posts. Actually, let's add new middleware. Yeah, I create a middleware in here, and I want to force all of routes in this area because I add another middleware in here to have authentication. And in here you can see if I don't have any authorization, I can't see this message. Let's see what happened. It's very easy for us. We need only remove this from here and add it here. Barrier authentication. And I need only use this handler.use. I'm sorry about. Okay, it's very nice. And let's see what happened. If I go to the, and you can see it's work. If I add another Mahdi, it's work now because I remove my authorization. But if I wanna create an access to post, you can see I get unauthorized. And we need to solve this. How we can solve this? In here, everything happen in here. We have a context in here. We need access to my user repo and check something. For example, I want to read something from here, context, user repo, and we know that we have user repository in previous middleware, in root middleware, we have user repository. All right. In here, I want to fetch user from token. We need this function create, and we know that we need token passed. And after that, we can simply return this. All right, I create this, but we need a user, nullable user. We have some problem. I don't save token in my database, and it's very okay. We don't want to save this token in our database because it's important, and I don't like to save it. But we have something called JW token, JSON web token. If I want to show you JSON web token, yeah, I want to use this package, and this package help us. For example, if I pass this object as a payload to JWT and add some secret to that, after that I can sign this JWT with this secret key, and I have a token. Very nice. And this token actually contains all of these items, but we only can verify and access to this data with our secret key, and this secret key is only saved in our server. And actually we only have the secret key, and the only person that can access to the data is our server. Very nice. How we can use this, I will show you. I copy this and bring it in my pubspec YAML, add it in here, and let's see what's happened. Very nice. All right, in user repository, if user has a token, I want to verify this. How I can verify this token? We see that in here. Let's verify it. JWT dot verify. I want to verify this token with my key. And where is this key? I want to save this key exactly same where I want to save this key exactly like this, but for testing purpose, let's add only the secret key as a, for example, 1 2 3 4 5 6. I will change this, it doesn't matter for now. It needs to be a very secret and very long and obscure text. It's not good to add 1 2 3 4 5 6, but I want to test. Okay, and after that I get a final JWT, and this JWT has a payload, and this payload, it's dynamic, but we want to consider that we get a user to JSON can be in this payload, but let's see the user. We don't want a name or last name. The only things that matter to us is ID. Okay, let's change this to integer, and this payload will be integer. Okay, and we maybe have we need some try catch. Why, I will show you. I am seeing the documentation in here. I wanna add try catch on JWT exceptions and catch. If we throw exception, that means we are returning a null, because our token is invalid. Actually, we can't verify that, and I want to return null. But if we have If we don't have any error and we can verify this insert token that user inserted, it's very easy. We need only return JWT dot payload as an int. Yeah, I think it's good for now. Let's add this. This need to be int. It's not. We don't need any async. Okay, let's check what happened. I don't know. Let's check. In here, if I test again, I get error. But if I add my authorization and our barrier token, let's add a sample. For example, this is my sample. I get error. And why? Because this isn't a correct token. We need to have a correct token because it's very important. The correct token is signed by us, by this secret key. How we can, when and where we need to sign this token for user in login, in authorization. Okay, in user repository, we know that after user is authorized, and after we pass our user, I need to add the token to user. Where is this token? We will need to create that. JWT, in here we can add our payload. And where is my payload? We know that in user.id. This is my payload. Final JWT equals this, and we need to sign this. JWT.sign. With my secret key, we know that the secret key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Final token. And when you are signing your token, you can add some duration. For example, you can add expires in, for example, in 2 days, in 1 day. It doesn't matter, but I don't want to add limit date. And in here, you can see I have a string token, and let's pass in here token. And it's very important secret key. Let's check what happened. I want to log in first. We know that we get unauthorized. I can't see my message. But if I logged in my service, I have this token. Let's copy and paste here. Boom. It's very good. I want to tell you, I'm not a backend developer. Maybe I have some problem in implementation. For example, JW token in hash password. And if you have better experience, please let me know. In this playlist, Dart backend, I just only mention some funny things, benefit of using Dart. You can implement all of these in Dart Frog with Dart language, but I'm not an expert. I'm front-end developer. I'm mobile app developer, but I have some knowledge about backend things. For example, in here, I'm using that with Dart, but I'm not expert. I'm expert in mobile app development, in Flutter and Android a little, and yeah, I think it's good. It's enough for now. In another episode, I want to add Flutter, but maybe before that, we need some clear. The code is mess. You know that I am doing lots of copy and paste. You know that it's not good to add this in here. I have some check in here. It's very long method. We need change this code in future in another episode, but it's enough for now. Thanks for watching. I hope this video is helpful, and have a nice day. Goodbye.